my God, you guys did illegal things to us. We had so many early game leads. It didn't matter. You guys just didn't care. You're like, who cares if you guys get leads? We're just going to win every single team fight. And I actually talked to Quid about that Yone play because I was like, okay, what happened? Wait, am I muted? Hello? Do I need to restart?
No. I had the actual stream muted. Yes, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay. Yeah, I asked him about that Yone play. He was like, I had no idea. I was just trying to kill the Cassante, and I just randomly landed 5-man ult. I was like, oh, I'm so good.
It's being labeled as the cleanest Yone ult of all time. Like, I've watched Dom's reaction to it now, Ellis's reaction to it. Like, it's one of those where, like, you would expect, like, I think the top Reddit comment was like, to have this be a genuine, amazing play from North America that everybody's gushing over without it being like a fluke or like something like massively going wrong or a fail involved in any way, shape, or form is just great. Like, it's great momentum.
It is, and he was just like, I didn't know they were there. I was going for the Cassante because the call was like, kill Cassante. It's like, okay, I ulted it. Oh, there's 5 people there. That's kind of how it felt like this series. We just kept getting advantage after advantage. I asked Sayos this. I'm like, what was going on? He was just like, we were just too discoordinated. Like, as soon as 100 Thieves see a little bit of like discoordination, they just pounce on you, and they kept pouncing on us, and it made it very difficult for us to play the game. Even game 2, he's like, we had Otacon. We were like completely winning the game. Really, we shouldn't lose that game, but they just kept finding the angles.
I mean, the difference maker for me in this series was if you guys were to win, was going to be can B-Void carry in the way that he's been the last few weeks. We shut him down so hard this series. The fact that FBI gets player of the series and his Senna game was just obnoxious with the amount of stacks that he's getting. Now, I don't know whether that's like B-Boy and Seos' fault that they're trading so much into him that allows him to get that much, because you can't get that many stacks without constantly autoing and pulling the soul back out. So like,
we swapped the Cassante into him. Or you guys swapped into the Cassante. That's what got him like 30 in like 4 minutes or something crazy.
Even prior to that, though, they were still laning at a much higher pace than normal. Like pre-14 or like pre-swap, they were still ahead of normal pace. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, if we're doing this, like, I don't know how you guys win. Like, the only thought in my mind is like game 3, okay, maybe Fudge like pops really far off, but like it's gonna take more than one person, and you just can't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously as a Shopify fan, I'm like, we misplayed a lot. There were so many times where just our front line, where we have a front line, and then for some reason our carriers are in front of the front line, or the front line go back, or like contract stays dry. Like, we were just discoordinated. But like, I have to say, kudos to 100 Thieves they just keep doing this to every single team. At some point, they're creating the chaos that other teams can't handle. I can't just keep saying that, oh, the teams are messing up. So hats off to y'all. How did you feel about that series as a third party watcher, Marn?
I can't believe these words are gonna come out of my mouth, but I'm starting to believe. Like, it may happen. I've seen this script as the person that's seen this script before.
Yep.
I'm starting to feel it. Like, being down 5k in game 5, somehow wins that series, comes out, slams this series, you're like, man, they have momentum. Like,
I think it's a brick wall tomorrow, but I appreciate that.
Well, walls are there to be broken, aren't they?
And it is green.
Some would say it is green.
I don't know if guys gonna get his flowers, but I'm sorry, Ayla. I wasn't familiar with your game. He's stepping up fucking big time. And like, every single player has now put themselves back in the shop window. They were in the dustbin, like going to like week 4. They're now all back. They've all been taken out the dustbin, cleaned up, and they're back in the shop window. Like, what a turnaround!
I mean, I don't like having this conversation now because obviously we still got a lot more to go. But like, it's worth saying we are at the point where if 100 Thieves plays this well, especially if they win the split, if a miracle happens, if they somehow win, for Team Liquid, you just pick up everybody. Period. You do a 100 Thieves Golden Guardians move from 2020. You pick them all up. You just take the entire squad.
Well, you can't to begin with, but Rivers
can.
military.
But that's why you have Yuji. And assuming Yuji gets his green card and like settles his visa issues that were supposed to be solved in this past off season, if that works, then fine. If not, you bring in somebody else. But like at this point, you try not to disrupt the core of this roster and just put the closest thing that you can to River in it.
On TL. And because then you still have that Ayla relationship, which we never really got to see in Tier 1.
Or even better, all right, you give Blabber a junk or a mid laner who is just balls to the wall. C9 fans want him gone anyways. All right, Blabber to Team Liquid, and then all of 100 Thieves on there. Just bam. That'll buy me as a fan tomorrow, I'll tell you right now.
What world we live in?
But they're playing well. All of them do. To your point, Ayla, like everybody wants to give him shit all the time because of how his career started. But you cannot deny that he, at this point, is a top 2 support in the league. Like, what else? Busio's number 1. Nobody's fighting that at all. Not trying to put him up there in that conversation with him. Busio's entering like MVP territory. But like, Ayla has confidently secured himself at 2.
I do not agree. I think Vulcan is still number 2, and I think Cordae is still number 3. Maybe like specifically in those series, but I think overall, I wouldn't put him number 2.
In the last month of play, would you put him at 2?
No, I'd probably still put Vulcan. I think he's the only
I will understand the Vulcan point.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm riding high on that. I'll give you the Vulcan point. But if you sit here and try and tell me Core JJ should be up there in the last month, you're smoking crack.
I agree. I think he's had a better last month than Core.
All right, we're on the same page then. I will accept that answer and not fight you.
To your point though, I think that the fact that he's playing, like if this bot lane can actually just hang, I think it'd be very, very dangerous for FlyQuest, because the one thing I asked Quid about FlyQuest, or I didn't even ask him, he just started talking about FlyQuest, or maybe I did, I don't remember at this point, but he was like, honestly, I don't think they're going to make mistakes. I don't think we're going to get leads against them. We just have to out team fight them. We're just that's the game plan. Just out team fight these people. If we have better hands on the day, we'll win. And like I can see it. Like if FBI is feeling himself, we saw how he outperforms Berserker. Why can't he outperform Masu Busio? Like they can do this. I thought that Quid made a lot of mistakes today. He even admitted, he was like, yeah, game 1, like the only reason they could even gank me or put any pressure on me was because I just kept making mistakes in lane that put me in like bad positions. As a Shopify fan, like I was happy to see that Palafox didn't have a stinker. Like he played fine. He didn't win us the game, but he didn't like lose us a series, right? But yeah, I think as long as Quid and River play well, you guys have a legit chance, which I would not have said even going into last weekend. Like even last weekend, I wouldn't say 100 Thieves have any shot against FlyQuest because stylistically, team fighting is their strength. Mid game and team fighting and macro is their strength, and like that usually you guys beat people who that's their thing they struggle in. Not today. You guys look like you can actually do it, which is scary. Like just in a hypothetical world, you have the first seed as going from North America as 100 Thieves, and then Cloud9 is knocked out. Team Liquid isn't even there. Like all of our standards, everything we expected coming into the split is falling to dust.
Get rid of the LCS branding and look what happens with it.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think the format has been horrendous for teams to improve. Actually, the fact that 100 Thieves had to play top teams the entire time was probably more beneficial than Cloud9 having to play the bottom 3 teams, or us having to play bottom 3 teams.
You want to know the kicker?
What?
Assuming FlyQuest wins tomorrow, 100 Thieves will play the same amount of games this weekend that FlyQuest will all month.
You want to hear the second kicker? We never got the C9 Fly rematch.
I'm not sad about that.
I am very sad. I wanted us
absolutely,
to. We were prepping this entire split. Like every single series we're saying we're picking these champions specifically because we want to prepare for FlyQuest, and we didn't get the chance, and then we fumbled our chance to play them.
Hey, you know what? You had first seed. You could have picked them. I don't want to fucking hear shit. Instead, you decide to pick Shopify, and in that one, you don't even pick Team Liquid.
We could play. Well, yeah. Well, we could pick FlyQuest. We could pick the TL or.
You could pick anyone.
You could have picked anyone. It was in the top 4. You could have picked FlyQuest. So don't sit here and feed me this. Oh, we never got to play FlyQuest. You got BS'd into your way to picking whoever the fuck you wanted. If you wanted that rematch, you could have had it.
We're probably high.
Doesn't matter. You're sitting here saying you never got the rematch. You could have picked it. You didn't.
Well, I think the first week we should have gotten the rematch. Like it's happened every year for like so many years. It's so hyped to see the finalists get to match up against each other, and like the fact that we didn't get it was just kind of ridiculous in my opinion. So, even if we did get it, even if you guys beat Cloud9, like I just still think it was ridiculous that we didn't.
To be clear, I'm bantering. I 100% like agree that like the schedule should have put us in a predicament where we would have seen FlyQuest versus C9.
So
we could have picked them.
Because this may be dependent on length of this, I'm gonna add some like questions in and around like our topic. So this one's from like Poppy343. What does Dokla bring to 100 Thieves? I'll let Dave go first.
Okay, we were having this chat on stream, and I think Blue actually put it a really good way. Dokla is your journeyman quarterback who is going to slot into an otherwise already good team, but just might be in the wrong situation, or might have like one piece off ever so slightly that you just need to change that little bit and everything else clicks. That's not saying that he's all that much better than Sniper. I mean, he might be in certain areas, like we haven't gotten to see the two face off against each other, so we don't really like know in that capacity. But he brings whatever the fuck was missing in the first 3 weeks. None of us know what that is, but it's enough to get River and Quid to just click and play like they were back in Split 1. It's enough to get FBI and Ayla confident in these team fights that everybody's on the same page and not disjointed like we were for extended periods of time where River would go in super early and nobody else is there to follow up, where Sniper's caught out trying to flank but like not timing it right. You see Dokla timing these flanks right every single time right now. Like, that wasn't there. And I can't tell you what specifically, what quality that brings, because it's not just gameplay. But whatever it is, it's working. So he's like truly the journeyman quarterback that like comes in, provides a lateral move, but elevates everybody else with him.
And the one thing, like, it's not champion pool either, because it's like practically very similar champion pools outside of like Rumble and what was it, like Garen was the only other.
People keep talking about Sion, but like he played Sion.
I mean, Rumble's the only one.
He was bad. Yeah, he was just bad
Rumble
at it.
was like the pick.
I actually asked Quid, like, I didn't specifically mention Dokla, but I said like, hey, you made a roster change. This happened last year. Like, what is so different about the team after the roster change? He was like, vibes. We just have really good vibes. It's like, I mean, I know that Dokla, even from back on his Optic days, like his teammates would always say like he's such a funny guy. Maybe it really is that you just Sniper was like too childish, and Dokla's humor is a little bit better, like fitted for them, and now they're clicking. I mean, not momentum, but like vibes is a scary thing. Like when a team actually believes. I mean, we've seen what T1's done before.
You have to believe that you're the best to be the best, regardless of whether anybody else thinks that you are. You have to have that attitude to you. That mama mentality has to be there. And if we have that now, I'm not saying that we're favor going into FlyQuest. I think even the strongest of 100 Thieves fans would be delusional to sit here and tell you that we are.
I disagree.
But you walk in and you say, okay, we have a chance, which you wouldn't have thought even just 2 days ago.
Let me turn your attention to a team called EDG back in 2021. This team went through like best of 5, going all 5 games. No one expected them to win the split. FPX was like completely dominating. Doing B won MVP that split. They win one best of 5 after the next, like 5 games. They go to the finals, not expected to the win. Just all of those games, that sheer amount of games. Like you guys played, how many games? You played 5. I mean, you had what?
4 of us.
You've had like over the past 3 weeks, this is 4 best of 5s.
Yep.
In 3 weeks. Like that, how many did the FlyQuest play? 1 in the past 3 weeks.
They're going to play 4 this entire. If they win, they play 1 to get to this point.
That was 4 weeks ago, because remember there was a break where it was the upper half and then the lower half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys played, and then you played, and they played. So that's 2-1, and then you played yesterday and today, so it's 4-1. Like that, the amount of stage games really matters. That EDG team had no business winning, and then they come and they win, and they go to Worlds, and they had zero business winning, but they go to 5 games against Gen.G. They go to 5 games. They won 5 games every single series. And they beat Dom1, not because they were a better team. No one predicted Dom1 except for Dom, and he said like the only reason I say that they could win is because of this factor. The fact that all of these best of 5s steals you. It makes you a very different team. And when another team doesn't have that momentum, doesn't have that amount of, like, is just waiting in the winners finals, like old LCK Gauntlet style, like they might be like a little slow game 1, and all of a sudden you guys punch them in the jaw game 1, and now they're out and they're like fumbling game 2. They don't know what to do, and you guys are just rolling because you've had what 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games at that point, and they're in game 1. Like I think this like 3 weekends in a row or 3 days in a row is just too much momentum. Now I don't think it's a favorable position because it's hard to win those 2 to get there. But once you're there, I definitely have to favor you.
And the thing is, they've played 2 teams with 2 completely different styles that helps them prepare for FlyQuest that are a combination of both. Like, you have the heavy laning, which C9 was more favored for, and then you have the explosive mid game, which Shopify has been like this entire year, basically. So like you now are warmed up in every stage. So like if there's not going to be a better opportunity to win.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think the better opportunity, like, okay, maybe not better, losing here and then facing them in finals in Texas. Just like but even then, I think they have the severe advantage if we play them in Texas.
I think so too.
Severe, because River has a history of not showing up in those moments when we need them to most. Quid, same thing. Like, it's not like, I mean, granted, they've only been in that environment once, but the one time that they were in it, it didn't go well, notably against FlyQuest. And second, you have a FlyQuest team that has played on like the biggest stages in the world. They're going to be less phased by that situation than we would be. So maybe you're right. Maybe tomorrow is like our best chance that we're going to get all year to beat them. But in theory, even if we lose that, we have a best of 5 against the LTA South, which can hopefully put to bed any conversation around, would we shrink up against the R7 equivalent? Then you possibly beat Shopify again, and you warm up again for that next week. And then that's back-to-back days that you're playing series against the number 1 seed from the LTA South as a warm-up to then face FlyQuest. So 4 series over 4 weeks. Or 3 weeks.
So let me ask you a question, because a lot of people are mentioning this as the finals, like what's happening tomorrow. I really don't consider this finals. Like, first of all, it's in the studio. No. It like, feel like, oh, they have a chance to be like the LTA North champions, which means nothing. Does that mean anything to you, especially if you guys win it?
If we win it, we go to World. Like, going to Worlds carries weight. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't mean anything. I would really like to go to Worlds in our final year. That would be fantastic. But if somebody, like, if when it's all said and done, it's like, how many titles does 100 Thieves have? It's like, no, you only had 1 unless you win it in Texas. Then you have 2. Like, that's it. So I don't think, personally, I don't take as much weight into it unless you can get the win and go to Worlds. And even then, job's not done.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I'm seeing it. I see it as like, it's a you're playing for Worlds, you're not playing for, because even then you could get second seed. You could get second seed going to Worlds. Like, you're not actually like the number 1 seed. And I mean, it's still making it to Worlds. Like, if this 100 Thieves qualifies for Worlds over FlyQuest, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I joked with Quid, and I was like, maybe every year coming into Worlds, you have to do a roster swap. He's like, maybe.
Just seeing,
I mean, that's the Call of Duty method.
Rosters on paper, like knocking FlyQuest, C9, and TL out, and then going to that is a terrifying thought. But like, fair play if they do it. Honestly, it's like we gotta knock them at this point.
What would you give like a percentage chance of 100 Thieves winning. I'll start with you, Martin, because I know I've been going back and forth with David.
65-35.
Damn, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, no,
What
I
about
don't
you,
agree with
David?
that. I think it's 75-25 FlyQuest. If we win game 1, 60-40.
I think momentum is a scary thing, and I think that FlyQuest.
I'm
I
also
agree
kind
with
of
you.
preying on their
Momentum is
downfall
terrifying.
after what they've been doing this week.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was going.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the amount of games just matters. Like, FlyQuest would have to be so much better than 100 Thieves for them to like legitimately stop them. But I just think 100 Thieves are really good at team fighting.
Yeah,
That's a scary ability to have.
Here's my logic behind it. Momentum will apply for the first few games of the series. But once you get to game 3, momentum doesn't, like, everybody's going to be warmed up in the series, ready to go. So, like, if you're 100 Thieves, you need to at least split the first 2 games. If you can go up 2-0, great. But FlyQuest will turn it on by the time game 3 comes on. Like, they will finally be full strength. And if you're not contending with them by that point, you're in trouble. I've seen this happen in too many other esports that, like, I know League's supposed to be, like, different, but I'm a big believer that momentum carries weight for the first little bit and then does stop midway through. Then it becomes about the individual momentum in the series. But even then, all it still takes is, like, say 100 Thieves does go up 2-0, and FlyQuest get that single win, and the ball starts rolling. Then it's like, oh boy. Like, I look at momentum as a pendulum, where it can swing hard one way, but when it does swing hard one way, it makes the force that it's swinging back with equally as hard. So you got to be careful with it.
Yeah, but that's why I was saying FlyQuest have to be way better, because it's really hard to stop something that has that much momentum. You need a lot of force, and I don't know that with Masu, the way Masu was playing and the way that Quad destroyed Palafox, but again, Palafox played poorly. I just don't have the faith that I had in them like last year. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're just not playing at an all-star level.
No, but Quid's had quite a few oopsies in the last 2 days that, like, he will still have against FlyQuest. And FlyQuest are going to be way better at punishing than any of the 2 teams that we've played so far this weekend. That it's like, you can't make those mistakes. We make those mistakes, like, you will just straight up hand this series to FlyQuest. Like, I'm looking at, like, game 4 yesterday. Like, obviously draft wasn't great, but, like, the amount of times that we're getting picked off throughout. Same thing with game 2 against C9. It's like just one death after death after death after death, and then you're like 4K behind. It's like, okay, sure, maybe we stand a chance, but, like, you don't want to be putting yourself in those positions. So you got to eliminate those. And maybe momentum helps that, but, like, even with momentum, we've still been doing that. So
Gotta force them in the
little bit weird
fights, like, because that's been, like, for the past 2-3 weeks, that's been, like, the death nail for teams, mine included. Like, you literally just have to just, like, on repeat start forcing that shit, make them feel a little bit, like, nervous about the objective.
I mean, what Golden Glue said, it was like, we're just like, screw Otacon. Let them take it. Let them have it every single game. We'll kill them all. And that's what they did. Game 5, like game 3, we were up. We took the Otacon. Like, you guys had 2 people topside. You TP in, like, River walks from our tier 1 topside tower all the way down to Otacon, makes it in time for the fight, and you wipe us. Or it was like 4-for-1 or whatever. Like, it's just, you did that same thing to Cloud9. Like, even if they do get the Otacon, you get the kills, you get the towers, you get the objective afterwards. Like, it's a style. It reminds me of 2019 Clutch, where they just had the set play where they would swap. This was before, like, when Herald was still new. They had, like, the set play where they would swap for Rift Herald. I think at that point it would spawn at a different time. I think it was like 14 minutes or something. I don't remember exactly, but. And that's what kind of got them to World, is the fact that they just had this one set play and they knew to do it and no one else was doing it. And then at Worlds, everyone was just doing it. And it's like, okay, you just need to find a play that works for you and keep doing it. And they found, give Otacon, take the fight.
So, with the thumbnail, I labeled this must win, but I want to ask you both, who is it must win for? Because if FlyQuest loses, where like what start like narratives start forming because then now they have to fight for their life through the lower bracket. Obviously like they were saying 100 Thieves qualifies for Worlds, but obviously if you're beating FlyQuest, your objective is then to go win the fucking lot. Like
I'll take the hater angle on this.
I'll let you go.
I think it's a must win for FlyQuest for the sake of Riot Games.
For the sake of Riot Games.
For the sake of Riot Games, because if 100 Thieves wins tomorrow, guarantees that slot at Worlds and is like the presumptive number one seed going into everything else, Riot's just sitting there like, God fucking damn it. And not only that, but like FlyQuest have made themselves the villains, more or less, of this league over the last 48 hours and for the most part, year to a certain extent, despite the international results. Like people do not like Bwipo. People do not like how much Inspired runs his mouth. People did not like the idea that they're baiting that League is dead. People didn't like Bwipo going off on C9 for their KBBQ. Like, there's so many things that people don't like about them. And it's like, you're just at it. Like, if FlyQuest loses here, all that shit starts coming back to bite them in terms of narratives that I don't know how they fight against. You can win and maybe make quarterfinals at Worlds, and that shuts everybody up. But like, you got 2 months until that happens.
Well,
I don't think it's must win, honestly. Like I just think I don't want to say it's meaningless. You're fighting for Worlds, but the fact that it's like a fake first place because you could still finish a second seed is really weird. So I don't really see it as must win. I mean, maybe FlyQuest a little bit, but I just feel like there's not that much pressure, if that makes sense. Like you're not getting eliminated. You're not guaranteeing like first seed. You're not winning a championship. You're just cool. I can play next week anyways, and still win the championship. Still be first seed.
There's a stat line that I need somebody to get me, and I need Leo from the LCS and Riot staff to like get on this. I need to know 100 Thieves record in Worlds qualification series, because I'm pretty sure our record is freaking unbelievable. Like, unbelievably good. Now, do we go on to win titles? No, absolutely not. But I can't remember many games, barring the EG loss in 2021 summer, which dropped us down to the lower bracket, which we then went on to win. I can't remember many times where we've lost a direct series where we can qualify to Worlds.
You don't really have any of those players. So while
last year as well,
of the roster.
We played only one series could qualify us to Worlds. We won that. 2023, we were never in a position, so we couldn't win anything there. 2022, we won our first one because we went into finals in upper bracket, I think. Did we?
In 2022, you guys were in the upper bracket.
Yeah,
and made it to the finals and lost.
Won it there. 2021, we lost it. 2020, we didn't have a squad that could. 2018, we only had one chance, obviously, because that was the old playoff format. That you had
in
to go
2018, you guys made it because of points, wasn't it? Points? Yeah, you guys made it because of points. You guys were like a bad team at that point, and then
I know that, but we never played. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we never played an official qualification series in 2018 because we were so shit in summer, but points got us there.
Yeah, I think you just had to make playoffs, which you did, and then you were like guaranteed.
I think you made like the third, fourth match. I think was that where like CLG was it?
Oh yeah, where they moved the roster change.
Yeah,
because we brought in Ricaro over Cody's son.
Yeah, and like CLG actually were popping up, and then they were like, "Oh, why isn't this team going to Worlds?"
Yeah, I'd be curious to know. I'd be curious to know every.
I'm now thinking about my team. I don't think we have won a lower bracket gauntlet since TSM was in the league.
The last time you guys won the lower bracket was
to qualify for Worlds, like because we've only ever gone to Worlds.
You didn't win the year. 2021, you beat TSM, who were first seed. They lost a 5-game series to Team Liquid, and then they dropped to the lower series, and then they lost to you guys in 5 games. And it was like Perks game 5. You guys were down like a 3,000 gold. He makes a huge play, and you win. And then you lost every single game after that. But like it didn't matter. You guys made it to Worlds and made it out of groups. Like That perks
Only
roster.
team that did it, despite having a worse record than 100 Thieves and Team
You're
Liquid.
2-4. Oh my god.
See, I always defend that group and saying you had Damwon who were Thanos, and then you had 3 teams that were equally as shit as each other, just taking games off each other. Because Damwon was just 6-0'd that fucking group. And then we just happened to win
FPX
tiebreakers.
Week one look amazing. 2-1, absolutely stomped you guys. They made you guys look like a minor region. They smacked around Rogue like they were just like babies. Week 2, they like something happened. Nuguri doesn't play the game. Like he's just like doesn't have his hands on his keyboard half the time. It's like, what is going on with this team? What happened? Did someone get like punch someone in the face? It was like it was such perfect timing too.
We should have beat Damwon that week as well.
Yeah, you were up gold.
That was the show. That was the Showmaker
Damwon was just
Cassidon
too
game.
good. Yeah, they were just too good. Dude, Showmaker, oh my god, dude. Just
Very
not good enough to win it all,
right
but
now.
Very quickly before we move on, like I always make a joke of that year that we played Damwon more in that year than we played CLG. Like it was really, really funny stat. Because we played them at MSI play-ins, MSI groups, Worlds, and then Worlds groups.
I mean, that's like, what was the year that it was EG and G2? They played each other more than I think more than they played any other like NA team in a best of 1. Because they played how many of them? Was it 5?
Mm.
Who in EDG? G2?
EG and G2 in 2020. Because they had like that. It was like
it was 5 games. I think they played a total of 7. G2 won, and then they won the 8th. We finally won the 8th at Worlds, and it was their only win. It was like, yeah.
They played each other more than any team in North America played them in the regular season. That's wild.
Yeah. Shall we talk about Cloud9? Because that was the series yesterday.
Before we get on to that, sorry to splish forward, I actually have like 2 very quick questions that were linked to it. From Poppy, again, he was like, what is a quality in a player that is overlooked by teams in the LTA?
A quality of a player that is overlooked in the LTA?
I think I
having
can start
hands as
because
an American.
I think for me,
I feel like our top teams
being
all have
able
hands.
to form synergy with a player is far more beneficial than your skill as a player. I think that your 2 teams are actually proving that. Because you actually think of the quality of players that are missing Worlds versus the crop that we've got now. Like, I would much rather have a team, and this is why I was like, I will get on to like the C9 thing. I'd rather have a team that you stripped it back and it's worse on paper, but you're performing better as a team.
So you're talking about 100 Thieves over the last 5 years.
Kinda.
It's literally true. It's literally true. We've never had a roster that people have ever considered to be like the best hands, but yet we still have all these finishes.
2018, you guys had some. You guys had Sunday.
Did I not say over the last 5 years?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Dang, man, that was like 7 years ago. That's crazy.
Yep.
It's been a while.
I add my caveats for a reason.
And then Beans, Mr. Bluer, also just very quickly, good luck in the rest of the NACL playoffs.
Yeah, good luck versus Conviction.
Yes,
you guys
luck,
got this.
please.
You guys got this.
He says, does Sniper get a job next year? I'm just going to answer one word. No.
It depends. If Thanatos decides to leave to Korea...
No, stop that.
There's a chance.
How do I mute, like, Cloud?
No, I'm not saying he's going to C9. I'm not saying he's going to C9. What I am saying is, like, look at the top lane pool that we have, right?
Shrinks.
Let's just say Impact retires and Thanatos goes to Korea. That leaves 2 spots. One of them can be, like, Surdy / Zamudo, right? Because like those are everyone's hyped up about. The other one, you know, you could give it to the Sniper. But if Thanatos doesn't leave, there's just no spots for him.
I think DSG, if they come back...
Oh, probably... Photon! They could kick Photon.
I think if because if I had to make a prediction, I think Surrey and Castle are destined for a higher team next year. I don't know what teams that'll be, but I think DSG and Dig are probably going to have different top laners next year. So I think
I think Castle goes to Team Liquid, and Surdy goes to DSG. That's my guess.
I mean, wouldn't it be better if Surdy goes to Team Liquid to free up import slots? Like, in theory, like, nothing against Castle, he's great, but like, if we're talking about the difference between Surdy and Castle, that import slot is not enough to make up for what I would personally slot in with Surdy.
Oh, well, I don't think UG is going to be there, so that's another thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yeah, that frees
Yeah,
up
I think
a lot.
they try to pick up Quid. You have Quid and Castle as your what's it called? Two non-resident
Koreans.
players. Yeah, your two Koreans.
And then you pick up, if Core JJ retires, you immediately grab Yon. Let Ayla and Yon
Or
play
Ayla,
together.
yeah.
Or, yeah.
I mean,
I
in
know.
a world, dude, just think of how crazy this is. Castle top lane, Blabber, Quid, Yon, and Core JJ / Ayla. Like, just how crazy is that roster? I think Core JJ would be better just to like unlock what's his name, Blabber. Like, I can see that project. I can be behind that project.
That it gives me 2022 vibes. It's scary
Does it
yes, it gives me on paper super team vibes. And like, I don't like, in North America, that always scares the ever living shit out of me. Because it never works.
That's true.
It never works. And that's why I'd rather Ayla than Core. Because
you
like
also have Castle, who's not really like a superstar player, right? So it's not full superstars.
Their roster would be interesting, I think, if Spawn was staying, but I don't think he is. So I think I think Blabber needs a Spawn to finally reel him in.
Yeah, he's gonna get a Dom, is what he's gonna get.
Shall we move on?
Let's see Dom's belt come out. Yeah, Spawn's belt was bad. Dom's watched American football. Wait until that belt comes out.
No,
he's been learning from Nick Saban and crew. And I say that because my Florida Gators just fucking lost to an unranked USF. So you know what? Fuck me.
Lost,
every good bit of energy that I had is gone for the rest of the day.
Dang. They lose by a field goal, or what happened?
Field goal is time expired.
Damn, unlucky. Didn't they have the ball?
They did. 3 and out in 20 seconds.
I
want to die. I was so happy. I'm
a Falcons fan. I feel you most of the time.
My favorite thing, knowing that we lost, the first thing that popped up, and this is how I know sports fans are different than esports fans. Top tweet is fire Billy Napier on the field right now. He is cooked. That is the most liked tweet on social media right now, as he is the number one trending name.
You're not allowed to say that. In esports, you're not allowed to say that shit. I
say what?
Get rid of someone. Because
I've been on a streak of that lately.
I feel like everybody says that, and like I was on the C9 subreddit. Don't ask me why, but everybody's head was like rolling. Like even Xanatos, I'm like, who do you want to replace these like studs with? They're a good team. Like Sven apparently has been the worst AD carry this year, right? Apparently, Blabber has been the worst jungler this year. Apparently, like Vulcan, people just want to go. No one has said anything bad about Vulcan except get rid of him. Thanatos is a choker. Loki's the only one that I think no one like said anything bad about. But it's like,
if anybody says anything bad about Loki, you immediately block them and mute them. It's like, come on.
That's what I've been doing. There's been some. I'm gonna let you guys stop before I say some shit.
Nah, you're the C9 fan. You got to start this. Come on, you got to be the one to kick it off.
I have been thinking about this all like literally. I think I put it in our chat. The worst feeling is the day after, not when it's just happened and you're like sitting there like stun locked, like of a loss. I think this era of C9 needs to come to an end. And I start with the management. Because the past 3 summer splits for Reaper, this has happened. It's becoming untenable not like just for the players. I think for fans and like if you're like Jack, you need to now have the ambition that we need to rebuild. This cannot keep happening where we're making the same mistake. Like this, I saw this in 2020, 2024, 2025. We can't keep rehashing this and then just saying we go again next year. So for me, like, I don't know. Okay, and I hate saying like suggesting this without actually having a response. Like, what would I do? But I would just keep the rookies, make a complete swap, and gut our entire system. Because not only is apparently scrim culture bad, we lack discipline on stage. You heard Dom say he prepped Atacon fights this entire week, and we did not listen to him, apparently, based on how we were fighting these tools. So clearly, when the moment gets tough, your coaching goes out the window, and at that point, what's the point in having these veterans? Like, I love these players to death, but at some point, you just have to wipe your hands clean and make changes. But that comes to the second part. I think this region's cooked because I can't think of 3 players that replaces these 3 players. That's like, it's a catch-22. And if you can't replace the players, the entire management system has to go. Like, you have to change this culture now. And that starts from the very top.
Wow.
Dang, that's quite drastic. Yeah, I think you do one or the other. I think if you get rid of management, like coaching staff changes, and you get rid of the players, like a complete rebuild like that, after the program, like independent of result, if you look at what Cloud9 was trying to build, I think they were going in the correct direction. Now
Yes,
things
I
fell off
agree.
the rails, and I think it's easier to say, hey, why did it fall off the rails? Can we put additional safeguards so things like that don't happen? Because I think this project and last year's project, very different.
Night
So
and
like,
day, yeah.
I know it was the same head coach, but I think I would have a lot more faith in them saying, hey, we're going to make slight tweaks to this project, than say we need to rebuild because the past 2 years have failed. That's my like outlook. But I can also see like, hey, these players have choked, like this core of Sven Vulcan and Blabber have won us championships, but has also like throw away championships and choked when pressure's on. And maybe we just don't want that anymore. I can see that happening. I wouldn't be for it. I would be like, hey, what changes can we make? Maybe get another coach in. Maybe bring in like someone like DeMonte. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is get rid of Reaper and bring in a Spawn if he's willing to commit. I don't know what it is, but I would prefer to make a management change. It doesn't have to be replacement, could be addition. Then maybe you bribe back Mithy because apparently he's really good. I don't know, like
Not as a head coach.
Lucio without Mithy, one of the worst players.
Can
like
I make
people
a
are like,
point
this
on
guy
coaching?
is, yeah.
This may sound weird. The only like true head coach I believed in, even though it's for 4 games, was LS. Reaper has continuously since 2020 shit the bed on 100 Thieves and on C9. When we brought him back, I immediately said, I do not like this. This is a cheap stopgap. And we didn't even bring any additional coaches in with him. So yeah, he failed 2024. 2025, the same shit's happening. We're not getting the Reaper that we was innovative. Like, if you think about our like 2016, 2018 like world stuff, we were innovative. The only time we were innovative in that entire series yesterday was Game 5, and I actually do not blame draft. Our decision making completely shit the bed because we were 5k up. That's not a draft problem. Like, our decision making completely chucked that game. And like, I understand the current landscape of NA where do you replace Blabbers, Venom, Vulcan? Unless you have the money to bring in like a Yon. But I don't think inherently Yon fixes, like, if you just did a straight swap ADC, I don't think that fixes it. I don't think the shot calling structure of Blabber and Vulcan works anymore. It's had its time. But the thing is, I think Vulcan's actually this has been an improvement year for him. I think he's played a lot better, and I think he's actually returned to some form. I would have liked to seen him venture out a bit more. He did, to his credit, learn Nico, and I actually thought he was pretty fucking good at it. But the drafting this year is some of the worst I have ever seen. I even said it to you, I think it was at Game 3. It went against 100 Thieves. I was like, this is the most unwinnable. We were down like 2k in 5 minutes through the lane because Lucian couldn't walk up to Aphelios, and like every lane was cooked through draft. Like, we're down 2k, and I'm surprised we even clawed that 2k back for a period before losing it again.
So here's a question.
Sorry,
since 100 Thieves is on the board, right? What if you just pick up FBI Ayla? I'm not saying they're better, but if you need a change of scenery, if like a change is necessary, because for some reason these players just don't work together, like the core of
there's no
jungle bot.
There's no one that has authority over Blubber. There's no player in the LCS, like maybe
Core did it, maybe,
but I don't. I've been back and forth on this. Like, one of the things I even thought about is you bring in Core, you bring in Impact as an actual positional coach as he retires for Thanatos, to start helping him understand the middle late game a bit more, and not just like the laning part of it. And you bring in new coaches. I will only accept Dom if you either completely wipe this team and you're bringing in new players, or he gets to be in person, because I don't think remote is the way to go.
To be very clear, I think this year is going to be a lesson for a lot of people that you cannot do remote coaching.
Agreed.
Period. Like, it has to be in person. There are certain, like, this isn't a hybrid job where you're working at Excel for 8 hours a day. You are managing a culture that you have to be there for, and you accept that responsibility when you take this role.
Yamato Cannon said 90% of the job is just being there.
Yep. Here's my thoughts on this. One, I think Blabber's gone. I just think he's the one through line through regardless of the highs, the lows, like, you continue to like bring back to this point. I know what you're about to say, which is, who in the world do you replace him with? And I think that leads to the bigger question. And the reason why I'm thinking of this one is, like, I think you bring in entirely new management and coaching. You keep every other piece the same for now, and you bring in a young jungler that coaching and management is fine with. I understand that they're not going to be at the level of what Blabber is, but the reality of this region is that the import rule is probably not lifting anytime soon. And you have to, like, we have to, as a region, over the next 4 years, understand that our role is going to be developing players who have not gotten those chances and are probably going to have a little less hands off the jump than the majority of the players that we have in the league right now. It is your responsibility at the top level to teach them. Now, that could be through affiliate systems. Like, if C9 wants to put the money in and have an NACL team that, you know, works their way up, or have an affiliate in some way, shape, or form, fine. Do I think they're going to do that? No. So I think the job of management and coaching, from Jack's point of view as he's hiring, you need people developers. You need to be able to start bringing this next generation of talent up. And I don't want to hear excuses that, oh, we don't have anybody. If we don't, then you better fucking make it. Otherwise, this region's doomed.
Didn't they do that, though? Aren't Loki and Thanatos the next generation? Like,
from North America, you only have 2 import slots. I'm saying you can't rely on their imports forever. You need to develop players within our system, our own our structure, to be able to funnel, because you can't, for every 2 Lokis, or for every Loki and Thanatos that you have, you need 3 American versions. And currently we have none that people are aware of. So, like, we are doing a piss poor job of getting people up, and it's not like you can rely on the South. You're only allowed 1 person from the South down there to come up. So, you have to develop talent. Your focus for the future has to be getting some of these guys that nobody knows about at the level that you can for an American or Canadian player.
The scary thing about this isn't just a C9 thing. This is a TL thing. This is a FlyQuest thing. Even 100 Thieves. Like, once Core and Impact go, who the fuck do you bring in? Like, it's top lanes maybe a little bit easier, but like support, like C9 and like if let's say Vulcan is going, C9 and TL are like bidding war for Ava. Like, and it's getting to the point which could be scary for the league. Like, it could be a coin flip on does this league die then very quickly. It's do you just have to start playing young players, even if it's not? Because I when I think about a young rookie coming in, like rookie jungler coming in with 2 Koreans who have not played even 2 years of tier 1 professional, but that sounds terrifying. With 2 veterans who are prone to tilting and are not leaders.
That's why I'm saying you need coaching staff now.
Yeah. That
is not what we've got. What the shit that coaches have gotten away with over the last 5 years is unbelievable. That's not to knock all of them, but that's saying that our talent development that we've brought up on the American side is tragic. And we have to fix that. Like, the import rule is not getting lifted anytime soon. And you are going to fuck yourself royally and fuck the region and fuck everything else around us in the next 4 years if you don't start working on it now.
I think it's like...
I mean, I actually have a couple points. First, to the support role, I don't actually think we're screwed. I think our supports are bad besides the top 3. I think, okay, maybe top 4 now that Ayla's there. And he's playing well. But in general, I think the fact that we have a top tier support in our region, in the past it was Core JJ, and Vulcan learned a lot from him, and Busio learned a lot from him, and now it's Busio. Like, these players, as long as you have one top tier player, you can always learn from that player and level up your performance. It's like, I'm not necessarily worried about our pool. It's just like something that takes time. To your point about the fact that we're not developing young talent, I think that is completely because we have a culture in North America to win. And if you don't win, it's completely useless. If we had teams, like if, just hypothetically, if Dignitas was we build rookies up so that we can sell them to other teams. That is our whole brand. And if we have enough rookies that happen to be good and we develop them, then maybe we go for a championship run. But in general, we're just here as a development project. We have 0 true development teams. 0. Every single development project that comes out with rookies, 2 or more, gets scrapped either 1 or 2 splits in. Look at Immortals last year. They had everybody was so hyped on their spring roster. They got rid of the coach that quite possibly was the only person that could have pulled those strings on those players. And then they won one game after that. Same thing with Dignitas. We're so excited for Surdy. Not even half a year in, they got rid of Surdy, the person you're trying to build. How many times did Tomo play for Dignitas? 3. He got kicked off of there twice. 2 times they were like, we want these rookie project. They get rid of it. If we can't consistently say, hey, we have a rookie project and we're going to develop it, besides EG and now FlyQuest, who have 2 rookies, brought in 2 rookies and now successful, what more do you need to do? You can try to go the Cloud9 route, but they're not native to North America. They're bringing in these import rookies. And if we're saying we need someone from North America, well, every time we try, we get rid of them. Imagine if 100 Thieves did the same thing. They bring in Quid for 1 split. They're like, oh, you're done. We don't have MVP level who's might take down FlyQuest Quid.
That's what community wanted, by the way. Myself included. I'll blame myself for that. That first split after Quid was here, it was not good.
Me too. I thought it was bad. Yeah.
And look where we are now.
You had Golden Glue. You had someone who can say I don't care what the community says. I know what I'm doing. And he's been developing. He was developing for years in academy, right? I think he coached for 3 years or 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. Made it to finals multiple times. He had the experience of developing players, and then he brought in Sniper and he brought in Quid, and he took good care of them. And I guess Meech as well. Meech may have not really pinned out, but at least in the first split he was good. So we just don't have those types of projects. We just get rid of them immediately. Oh, we're not number 1, then who cares? It's what about building a brand? What about developing? What about a 2-year project that takes 2 years and not 6 months? I think that's the bigger issue.
The thing with the C9 is they betted on this working. Because And the thing is, it half worked. The Korean solo laners are fantastic. I know Phantos had a really bad playoffs, and like criticism's fair. Loki, I already said 2026. I think he's gonna be a fucking monster. Like, I saw glimpses of it against Quid. Yes, he had some rough lanes. He also had some great games. Like, you rebuild around these two. It's just like I don't. It's just so frustrating because there's no clear options.
And it's going to be like that unless we do something about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing that I just want to keep pounding in is like, if we sit here and complain about it, because I know that's what this entire this off season is going to be rough for people. Like, especially if Impact and Core JJ both retire, which could happen. C9 makes some moves there. Like, it's going to be interesting. And I don't want to see teams. If I hear a single team come out and say, "Oh, well, we just don't," there's not much talent here in North America to pull from. I was like, "You fucking did that." But okay, let's pause. I'm just curious to see what the conversation ends up being, and I just want to make sure people hold the right parties accountable for this. It's like, you didn't have to drop your academy teams. You didn't have to stop investing in younger talent. And like, I'd be curious to know, and I would love for Blue Water to talk about this later, is like, how much of this run that they're going on is aided and abetted by Team Liquid, because they are like the Team Liquid partner. Like, what kind of assets are you getting pulled in? Like, how are the players being developed in some coordination with, whether that's TL facilities, TL coaching, whatever that might be? Is there a precedent there that we can learn from that other people can adopt and go from there? Maybe, but at least do something. Like, you cannot sit here and do nothing.
TL, I'm pretty sure, unless I read the completely wrong thing, I'm pretty sure they already announced that they're doing a scouting combine. So that
but a scouting combine, you're pulling it, you are taking the talent that's available and grading them to see who you want to bring in.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the systems that feed into making sure that that talent that's going to be in the combine pool or the combine that you're running is diverse enough and good enough to the point where you can plug and play with what you need.
And the thing is, like, to harbour back to C9 a bit, like, you saw their ceiling and their floor. Like, in every single series we have this playoffs. Like, when it was clicking, clean. Like, that's the team I'm picking. Yeah, that team can take down Fly, but that's sure. And then in the same series, we should have lost to DSG. Like, forget the 100 Thieves Game 5 throw. We should have lost to Disguised. Like, and I will openly admit that. Like, I'm not having any delusions that we should have lost to DSG. And at that point, it's like, all right, maybe 4 players go, because that's embarrassing. But I do agree. If we're gonna make any change this upcoming season, it has to be management and coaches. I think I don't even like put this. One thing that I think C9 lacks is a guy with like a clear vision on like, what are we planning for. It feels very, very reactionary to problems of their own making, and them, to be fair, like having to, because like this year's roster was built off the back of, you lost arguably the best AD carry in North America, and you lost Jojopian, to having to replace them with 2 younger players because you maybe didn't, like, I'm not sure, maybe you didn't want to spend that kind of money again to do another full rebuild. You wanted to go that route. And to be fair, like, I do like the idea of going for grinders. The one thing I think this shitty FlyQuest narrative has kind of brought is people are now thinking that we don't grind, that we don't want to win, and I think that's complete bullshit.
All 5 of your players are top 40, I think, in solo queue. Like I was looking at their accounts, are all top high challenger. Like you're grinding the game.
grinding the game, grinding streams, grinding content. Like, I will not knock the players and management and that for not trying. That's what they can't be criticized for. And I haven't always said felt that in the past, and I even said that in my tweet. This is the best I've felt about C9 in a long time, and we're still back here.
Here's a question. We were talking about spending the money to develop a tier 2 system, whether that's working with Blue Otter or working with these other organizations or whatever it is. Would you rather develop a content system like what Cloud9's developing or what Shopify is trying to develop, just to build a brand for yourself? Would you rather invest, you have a limited amount of budget and you can either develop this content systems or you can develop your tier 2 system? Where would you put that money?
Oh, good question.
I think it's all dependent. Because I think
okay.
I'll let David go.
No, go ahead. I wanna.
I think it is very all dependent. Like for C9, your name has a lot of weight to it that you can still pull talent with or without. Like Thanatos chose us over Casey because he thought he was going to Worlds every year. That's what he thought.
How's that working, buddy?
Well, KC may not be going either. We don't know yet. So,
well, if the G2 coaches can have their hand in scrims.
I don't want to hear about scrims ever again after this split. I genuinely think it's just all dependent. Because sometimes you are in a position where no matter what you're doing, content-wise, if you don't have a roster that players will look at and say, yeah, that's saying I want to be a part of it. C9's a good example in, COD. We are a big name. No one wants to fucking join us in COD. G2 is the exact same. We are a big, they're big organizations. No one wants to, play for Rocker or C9 New York. You want to go and play for FaZe, 100 Thieves, Optic. It's about, how you... I guess in some ways how you market yourself in the space.
On the COD example, though, it's you got to build out a network, though, that eventually gets there. And that takes time. It takes years.
Yeah.
The reason why FaZe and 100 Thieves and Optic do so well is because they have a longer history in the space. And the orgs were founded by people who do have ties there. So, for 100 Thieves, you have, the Nadeshot connection at the top, which, yes, we will get into that. Don't worry. But you also have Octane, and you have these players who played for the org that not only retired them, but also could still feature in content, could still do the co-streams and do the things that you need to do to help grow the brand and kind of be that force for fans or that lightning rod for fans that can help them grow and grow your base to the point where it sways people to come. That fan base does a lot more than people think that it does. There's a reason why there's a prestige to playing for Optic because there's so many fans there. There's a reason why there's a prestige for playing under FaZe. There might not be as many fans, but the clout is there. You're in FaZe clan, that exists. What org, when you're joining in League of Legends here, has that established? Who's got that kind of aura to them? T1?
Ours is kind of diminishing. If you're looking at NA specifically, I think even though we are now continuously finishing fourth when it comes to Worlds, I can guarantee next year we're going to be placed above Shopify. I can guarantee it. We'll be ranked, we'll be power ranked. Everyone's going to be talking about us because there has always been a stigma around the legacy teams in C9 and TL. Newcomers aren't welcome.
You need to fix that problem, though. To the ultimate question on would I rather invest in tier 2 or content, I'd rather spend that money on a single creator. One. that I can start building my brand around, and then invest the rest in tier 2. And make sure that creator knows that they're going to be covering anything that our money touches in tier 2. If our League of Legends money touches anything that is like worthy of making videos and content on, you better be fucking covering it in some way, shape, or form. Like, you are going to be our lightning rod in our communication beyond like the team side. Because I think team communication and like team social media and content is slowly like it's struggling until you hit a point. Like, there's a threshold that once you get to, you're fine, and then the brand can carry. But you need an individual that rises up with it and can help educate people. And I don't know if they have that at the moment. Like, we're seeing, maybe Meteos is that, but I don't think Meteos has the right personality for it. Like, he's too ingrained and involved in the league space that like it's not fresh energy that's needed. If that makes sense. Like, you need like that Dokla reinvigoration to come in.
So like a hypothetical world would be for Shopify, you have like them get a tier 2 team, and then every week they have a show on the Shopify channel with Ludwig and Charlie just talking about like the players, what happened, and just like giving like the rendezvous, but for Shopify, the rebellion of that kind of thing, and like highlighting these up and coming personalities and like what the coaching staff is doing and things like that.
Kinda. And I mean, I know tier 2 is not in person, so like this is a bit more of a difficult ask, but like even just conversations between like current players in tier 2 and just be like use them as a throughway. It's like maybe these tier 2 players can open up the tier 1 players in terms of their like some of the questions that they get to answer for content. Because by all means, I'm assuming that these tier 2 guys, like if they get the chance to talk to a tier 1 player, they should probably take that and want it. But like I'm trying to think of anything that you can do to just like build yourself a hub and make it desirable. Because like for Shopify, you guys, like, you're lucky. You're in the position where you kind of have that to a certain extent. Like, you have Ludwig and Charlie. You just need to use them.
Apparently, similarly, if you guys remember.
I think, let me get back to Cena on it real quick. The one thing that made them so desirable early on in the early Reaper days is him and Jack were not scared to get rid of an underperforming player, no matter how good they are. Like, we got rid of the MVP in Svenskeren. Impact went for Licorice. Smoothie, who I thought was playing pretty good, got sold, and then we got Zazel in. We continuously had this like pipeline of we aren't scared to make the risky, ruthless decision, and all of these players that I'll talk about were then highlighted at Worlds. So like they were then the beacon of hope for the next NA player. Like, hey, Contracts in his rookie year at 17 was popping off against EDG, and then the very next year you had Licorice fucking 3-0ing a Korean team. And then
the Ornn Baron steal to not get knocked out of play-ins. Yeah, it was very close to being a different world.
But the thing is, it ended up with us semi-final. I don't look at what could have happened. I looked at what happened. But now we've stopped doing that. We have stopped to a degree outside of mid lane.
I was gonna say, have you though? Because I feel like even as recently as 2024, like until the JoJo Q move, it was like we are not afraid to replace you, M&S, Diplex. Like, you guys had a carousel of players that you
Fudge,
were not afraid.
yeah.
Fudge stayed for a little bit longer than most people thought.
Like one split longer. He was a champion in 2023. Like he had one
but
split
the reason why it feels so long is because of the Fudge mid thing. That's why it feels more extended than it probably actually was, because like 2021 he has this rise to fame, and he's like climbing up, and then 2022 it's like, nope, we're moving you to mid. Let's see how that goes. And then it's like, okay, well, no, we're gonna go back to top lane. So you have like these kind of two eras, but like the mid lane, and then it took time for him to get used to top again, and then he gets used to top, and then it's like, okay, well, fine, you got a title. Now we're gonna bring in Thanatos because like you had one full year past that point. Now it's time to bring in the next new guy.
But now the problem they have is they rehashed a roster, a core that had already like met its maker, and you have a coach that is long overdue, like being gone. In some ways, as much as I bought into, okay, this is the most improved I've seen as a team from a macro-wise, from a coaching perspective. Maybe that wasn't on Reaper, that was more on like Dom and other coaches. We don't know, like we don't get to see that. In some ways, I should have probably not have been blinded by us looking back. Basically, I thought we were back in spring. I thought, okay, we are now finally, we've re-established ourselves as a top 2 team. But Leopards don't change their spots, and now we're back here where we don't make quotes again. This is now, since 2020, 3 out of the past 5 worlds we've missed. Like, you're now getting to a point where you're not an international team, and we haven't gone to 1 2 years outside of one EWC appearance.
And I'll be honest with you, that EWC appearance was what signaled to me that you guys might have some problems coming into the split. When the stories started coming out about how you guys couldn't prepare your sleep schedules, how people were like beyond exhausted when you didn't even have MSI, I like that to me signaled like it didn't mean that you guys were automatically going to suck in summer.
Yeah.
It just signaled in the back of my mind that there are problems that could arise in terms of just like understanding what you need to do in the moment to make it work is like the simplest way I can put that. And when the time comes again now in summer where you need to put in the work to do the things to make it work, I mean, using your example on like Dom and Otacon and like the plays around there is like, that's the work. That like that right there is your clear example of like things that you need to put the time into to make sure that you weren't doing in the series. And you didn't. I don't know who's responsible for that. I'm assuming that it's got to be coaching. Got to be Reapered on that front. There's no, like, the buck has to stop at the coach on that front. But, like, you can't let that shit happen. Like, there cannot be these signs that then come to fruition later in time.
I'm seeing the same problems that I saw 5 years ago, and that worries me with these veteran players. More so, yes, Sven was incredible, but I'm almost inclined to say it was more on Sven and Blabber, like how they looked versus comparison to Vulcan. I thought he played pretty decently. I don't think he was at his absolute best, but I think compared to the other two, he looked significantly better. I thought Sven looked tilted the entire playoffs. Like, this guy just looked like sighing. He's not that he's done, but he's like completely lost in the lights. And then
Too much BBQ?
He actually played fine against you guys, against Thieves. Like, he was really bad against us. He was really bad. Dude, game 2 completely destroyed your bot lane. Like,
sure, but there were many times where both him and Blabber throughout the entire series, if you're looking at 2 people who got caught out,
yeah,
it was them.
I
Like,
said
even
that
in
on
the
tweet.
time, like,
I was like, stop the silly deaths. We just win this series. Like, what are we decided, like, it was game 1 as well. Like, we were like 2-3k up, randomly get caught mid, then another player randomly gets caught in jungle like 20 seconds later, even though you just saw them walk through mid to kill Sven. You had 4 players there, and then Blabber is sitting in jungle, and then they cross over to our blue. Oh, look, the 4 players are there. How could they have been there? They just came through mid. And then you get Baron, and then you get Baron off that, and then the game's completely flipped. And it's like it's discipline, and you can't.
Discipline's a culture that you set from the jump.
And that takes a long time to.
It takes a long time to build, and also takes a second to destroy.
And the one thing we've learned through League of Legends players is you don't teach discipline. You either have it or you don't. Like, you're not like veteran players are not gonna like change too much. Like, some players will change, like, for a coaching philosophy, like, if you're adaptable. But I'm kind of seeing that these players still resort to their default state, which could be a course of their practice.
But that's where this tier 2 thing comes in my opinion, because you want to know who the easiest players are to like instill that discipline is the people who don't know any better. Like it's the young players that you can have an impact on that it makes the most amount of difference. Of course, when you go in and you're trying to like, what are you gonna tell Blabber, Sven, and Vulcan like try and teach them discipline? Sven's gonna look at you and be like, "Motherfucker, I made world semis years ago," and like maybe he's like, this is not to paint him in a bad light at all. I'd imagine he has a level of humility that most don't, from what I see in interviews. But like, it is still harder, no matter what, to teach an old dog new tricks, especially when it comes to discipline and work ethic and practice. It is way easier to get these younger guys and get them in a system as soon as possible and teach them the way if you want it, if you want them to have it. Does that mean that it's going to work out for them? No, but you have a higher chance of it working than you do trying to constantly push veterans or people like players that just have like that ego around them.
Problem with this process, you're hamstrung into you have to get the absolute top disciplinarian, or this like you can't run this back. Because I would not bring a golden glue into this roster. I'm sorry, that ain't working. Like, you really think golden glue is gonna tell like you said, Blabber and Sven what to do? Fuck no. You're gonna end up with the same problems you had on 100 Thieves.
Dude, our scrim issues were relevant for pretty much the entire year. So,
And
but there could be a lot of factors hitting that one, including like lack of like being willing to have resources invested. Like you have no, I have no clue what's going on there, but I would agree.
There's a
Man, I just remembered we got 3-0'd. This is horrible.
What was that? Did you see the Cutty tweet? It's like this series ended in 2 hours.
Yeah,
I didn't see the tweet, but
it was, dude. It was so fast. It was so fast.
Okay. Before we go on to David's favorite owner, I'll let you arch after this. I'll let you talk. But there's very quickly a question from R. Farley. He's like, early predictions for C9's roster next year.
I will go with the direction that okay. There's what I would like to happen and what I predict. I think you make a coaching change and you run it back if you're Cloud9. You make a coaching change, you say we had the opportunity to be legitimately a great team. We don't think it was on the players. Jojo mid, oh my god. Yeah, I think you say this project, the direction the project took was good. We just needed to tweak a few things. And you try to do the tweak. And you're hoping Loki's going to be better, Thanato's going to get experience, and you're just preying on the fact that you can fix what went wrong. What about you, Morn? Like your predictions are not what you want to happen.
We will have a new top lane in jungle.
Okay.
That's where I was gonna go.
I think Thanatos will go to Korea. Or to Team Liquid, if they decide they want to make some changes. Because I do think the Korean culture Team Liquid have as well would also fit him like a glove. Like, and like him under an app like Spawn's coaching, I think would be unreal for him. That's where it gets scary, like what top lane do you bring in? Because the question you then have is like the one thing I don't want, and I will go livid if this happens, if we then bring in an LCK challenger jungler. And then I'm like, I can't. Like,
So that was going to be my prediction.
because then you're looking at Quid and Riven, you're like, hey, that's pretty good. And then you have this Korean mid jungle duo that you try to recreate, and you just have a staple top laner.
I think you're importing jungle 100%, and you're looking at Surdy top. Is my prediction. Or Dokla. I think if you need a solid, like stable presence, and you just allow the rookies to be the rookies, Doklan topside and bring in a young jungler is just going to go buck wild with Loki. That's your play.
The one
And new
thing I
coaching,
will
obviously.
give about Doppler is he has the aura that he thinks everyone's shit, and I really like that about players. Like he's the type of player that will wind up rival fans, like because you don't think he's good, but then he's shitting on your player. That's why it was winding me up in that series yesterday.
It's like Fudge solo killed him today.
I would
And still lost.
And still, yep.
Like,
and then he goes on. He was like, "Just Korean diff. We just have more Koreans. That's all it is."
No.
if I will dominate as the coach, we're not getting Doppler. He does not rate him with a single bit.
I think Dom as a coach is going to be way more realistic than Dom as a streamer. I think that's the thing that people need to. Sure, I would agree to a certain, like, obviously I think Surdy's going to be like the prize possession of the offseason for the most part because he's a younger player that you can still develop that doesn't take up an import slot, clearly has that grind and motivation to him that I personally like. I think he learned a lot on Dig that will be useful elsewhere. But if Dom's going to be coach, like I just want people to know that like how you view Dom as a streamer, like his views are going to be comparing, North American players to international. But when you're a coach, you can't do that. Like you can to a certain extent, but when you're recruiting people, it's not like, oh, well, he's shit compared to, to Keen. It's like, okay, well, guess what? You still need a native top laner to pick a fucking name, like, and deal with it.
Guess what? You're not getting Keen, like, so
no. So shut the fuck up, dish out the paycheck, and know that you're responsible for this if it doesn't work out. Watch their sentiment change real quick, real quick, and it's like that's gonna be the difference for me. So I don't want people to just think that he's gonna like not take somebody that he's openly shit on as a streamer. He will be more willing to take that chance whenever you're put in that situation. If he decides to be coach, we're all operating under a hypothetical here that he like will make that choice to go to coaching.
He said he's interested. He just doesn't know yet.
Yeah. Well, I think once that offer's on the table, that's what my guess is when the offer's officially there from C9, there's no way he turns it down.
I agree.
You know that Iron Man and Endgame. It's like once he figured out time travel, it's like great, but can you rest now that you know? The answer's no. I think Dom will have to give it a try.
We have a history of moving assistant coaches into head coach roles. We've done that with practically everyone, minus Reaper. The one thing that scares me, and I love him to death, because he, like, you guys won't say this, he interacts with C9 fans every single day on our Discord, like in Nero. If you move him
he interacts with me every day.
Like,
he baits the fuck out of my Discord every day. White dude dancing in the most awkward way possible. David after he beats C9, frowny face. Like, Jesus Christ.
If he is responsible for how we've been drafting this entire year, I can't be having that as my head coach. I maybe you move him to GM or like some position of management. You have him, because that's what I always thought that was going to be the case with an era. Anyways, you move him into a management position, like you put him in the assistant coach just to get him in the door.
He seems like a great people leader. Like, the in-game stuff aside, I don't know, but like he fits perfectly as a GM. It seems like.
Yeah, and like I feel like you have, ironically, you have the pieces already in place to make this work next year. Oh, like if next year doesn't work and you have Dom as your head coach, you have Nero as your GM, I just sell the spot at this point.
I mean, that would complete the Anero meme.
Yeah.
Oh my.
His arc would have been complete.
Someone got to handcuff that guy. Just like get him a job at a different organization. Take him to Golden Guardians. Let him work corporate. Like just get him out of esports.
You got to
sorry.
punt me and an arrow both out of there because all we do is destroy the organizations that we're a part of.
All I know is you're not going to be part of Shopify, so I'm comfortable.
I still have no clue what I'm doing at all. I had three people message me today after the series. They're like, "Do you have any clue?" It's like, no, I really fucking don't. I just want to enjoy this final ride and also not see Nadeshot gambling his fucking life savings and organization away on kick.
While you guys are playing.
While we're playing at the exact same fucking time.
How
berserk will you go if you actually make worlds? He then finally tweets about your team.
I'm literally gonna be in the replies and tell him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'll be like, fuck off. Like, this ain't on you. Like, we're doing this in spite of you.
Look at my team. We're so good. It's like you're not.
If he says I'm dead serious, I need like. The only reason I quote retweeted it today was because it was just so absurd with the gambling sponsorship and kick, especially after Logan just got laid off and other 100 Thieves employees just got laid off yesterday. Like the absurdity the absurdity of that like pissed me off. So I took my pot shot. But like I hope he doesn't say a fucking Courage, I hope he says something because I love Courage. Like I know his position within the org is a little weird, but he's always done what he could to try and help grow the League of Legends program. Casted, game days. I will never fault Courage. He's put in more effort into this League of Legends program over the last 4 years than anybody else outside the direct influence of the League pillar has. But if Nadeshot says a single fucking word about it, I'm gonna lose my shit. Stay the hell away, you Trump-loving twat. Get the fuck out of my mentions.
David, just think about it after Worlds is over. You might want to think about joining Dignitas, you and an arrow. Just do the league a solid. Just a year. I don't think it'll take longer. Just, take one for the team.
The worst part is Dignitas is like unarguably set up the best to technically recruit me if they wanted to. I mean, if you think like they have the connection in Jersey. Like they had like for the reason why they were able to get the Prudential Center for finals is because of the connection that they have with them. Is like if anybody's gonna do the thing that I've been asking, which is actually develop a New York City fandom and like put the resources into it, it in theory would be them. Now, do I trust your management?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. That's the thing.
You're just conveniently in the best spot to do it, but you don't and won't.
I mean, Cloud9 are technically in the spot to do it too with New York, Cloud9, and COD. Like they have some level of facilities there that they can utilize. Be like, hey, we can double.
Really, tell me how many watch parties Cloud9 had in New York for their Call of Duty team versus how many G2 who are owned by the Minnesota Rocker or have the Minnesota team. Tell me how many watch parties were different between them.
I said they're set up. I didn't say they were doing it. Just like Dig, you were saying technically they're set up.
Set up to do shit and doesn't do fuck all. Like
I'm
you guys
are specifically New York, yeah.
I know, but it's like it goes beyond this. Like for you guys, like
Toronto, yeah.
Where the fuck are the Toronto watch parties right now? You guys are popping off.
We do it for Valorant. I don't.
Where are they?
You know what's crazy? Like if one team could literally contact Dave to do it every week for free. Like people complain, like, oh, we ain't
free now.
Okay, no. What I mean is like you're doing like the publicity for them. And like you're hosting these watch parties like without having to get something from the venue. They just want like in return like pay for drinks, other stuff. Yep. Like they could be doing that every week. If teams are complaining, oh, we do it at the Riot launch parties that they do because that's the only resources we could put into an actual like pop-up event. That is your avenue then. They would do it to you every fucking week.
So here's a question. I was actually trying to allude to this earlier, but I think the Cloud9 talk was a little bit more important. Did you see the announcement, the NBA, where Mr. Beast bought the NBA?
NFL.
What am I talking about? NFL, yeah, where he bought the NFL and they signed a YouTuber to every single team to be the face of every single team.
Yep.
Imagine we did that for League. And we don't need YouTubers the size of Mr. Beast. Like, it doesn't even have to be Ludwig size. I'm sure there's like a bunch of. Yeah, go ahead.
Sketch getting driven through a table was my Christmas.
I
love that.
Yeah.
in the CJ Shroud jersey as well. Like that, it was peak. I loved it.
It doesn't even have to be as good. Like, you don't have someone like Mr. Beast orchestrating all this stuff, right? But like, just do something like that where every org, like if Riot just said every org needs to have a content creator that like works as their face.
Our best
It doesn't have to be
performing
Ludwig
video
size.
ever was when we got to do the co-stream for C9 vs FlyQuest scrims. That was our best performing like streaming video, and we only got to do it that one time.
Yeah. I have a lot. I mean, I can't say this on here, but I'll tell you guys some stuff about that later. Yeah, but either way, it's like if you're going to pretend you're a professional league and leagues are struggling and they're like, hey, how are we going to like improve things? Oh wait, this is like content creators are an amazing idea. And then you're just like copying stuff back from the early 2010s. Like, can we please live in 2025 and just learn from them?
You would think. You would think, but it's not a guarantee.
Yeah. And we're already set up for that. It's like our game is online. It's just so perfectly set up for us to do something like that. And we let the NFL do it first.
I mean, because I'm trying to think, who all do we have? We have you guys have Charlie and Lud. You have Meteos for C9. You have Team Liquid has a bunch of creators, but none of them I directly affiliate with. Like none of them are North American creators at all.
I mean, Lilo is, but he's still like he shows up for finals. That's pretty much all he does.
That's my thing. It's like, who do you have that covers the league week in and week out?
Our Brazilian Valorant content creator is far more entertaining than Meteos. I wish we could just get him to do that every single week. You should see this guy. He does like cosplays for when we play. Oh mate, he's absolutely hilarious. Like,
dude, I've already said, like, the moment a team gives me the chance to deck out a co-stream, it's going to be a shit show in here, but it's going to be great. We just re-signed our lease for this office, so I will have this office the entirety of next year. Somebody give me co-stream. I'm building the desk. I'm like, literally, I'm turning this whole like section of this 80 square foot little space into a co-stream specific setup that gives like an NFL red zone type thing. Like I want that kind of vibe to it. Or like a Pat McAfee style desk, like something with like, dude, I wish. Give me the chance. Give me the time that I like. The problem is I have to teach golf on Sundays to make sure that I make enough money to support our living and life. So it's like,
well, ideally, if you're co-streaming, that, you know, covers the cost, right?
You would think I need to make $720 a month, which is not a small amount because, you know, I've worked hard in my life outside of esports and video games to be able to, you know, teach golf for $40 an hour. So it's like my time elsewhere is decently valuable, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you want to look at that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Like,
it's like I'm an expert in my field and I charge a lot of money, unfortunately.
That's not even a lot. I mean, it's just like it's enough. Like, that's my part-time gig. I've actually never calculated how much I make hourly by like my normal job standard. I've never thought about it that way. Once you're salaried, you stop thinking about hourly pay.
I mean, either way, like if an org signs you for less than $1,000 a month, then I just don't think they're signing you, right? Like,
I don't know. I'm just saying, this would be so much fun. All I'm saying is, if you buy me, you buy an instant rivalry with C9. And it works. It fucking works. Because I genuinely hate them. There's nobody else in this space. There's like all the TSM fans are gone. The CLG fans are gone. What's the name of the Call of Duty clip with the kill is the song. The animals are leaving. All this.
Oh my god!
You don't know what I'm talking about? You don't know this meme?
No clue.
What the? Hang on. Hold up. The animals are
We're
dying.
just uncultured here on the LTA report.
The animals are dying COD montage. Alright. Copying this link. I don't know if you have the ability to play shit on stream. But if you've never seen this a day in your life before, you need to learn.
What am I watching exactly? the planet just.
Why has YouTube blocked it from me watching it? Ah, damn it. I'll watch it later.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. What? What is this?
It is glory.
Oh my lord.
That video pops up on my TikTok feed once a month. And every time it does, I give that video at least 5 full watches. Because it's just so good.
I'm gonna put this in chat. Hold up.
I love the chat notes. Chat's literally quoting the lyrics.
Bear me back. What on earth?
It's the
I
greatest
have never
COD
seen it
montage
before.
of all time.
But yeah, I like. I don't know. I think we answered that question that I had about like doing what the NFL did, but
Who would?
I just
Okay.
wish we'd
Oh no, we didn't fully assign it. Who would be your creators? Like assign them to the orcs.
To be honest, I would assign someone different besides Ludwig or Charlie because they have way too much going on to commit to like once a week come out with a video or do like twice a week a podcast or co-stream. I would sign another person. Sure, go ahead.
No, you finish your list. I have a killer one, I think.
No, go ahead. I'm still thinking for Shopify.
Go ahead.
If it's Sentinels, you get tens. Because this guy watches all of the League of Legends world stuff. He is a big T1 fan. You get him to do co-stream in League of Legends. If you're Sentinels, that is an easy way in. This guy loves League. So like, I think if you're Sentinels, that's easy to bring in tens.
Now, isn't he gonna watch Valorant though?
Maybe if it's at the same time, probably.
Which
I don't know.
Will be.
Well,
I think if you're paying him, like, signed a contract with him, you can get him to watch League go over it. But that is a pretty big name. Tens is kind of
That's a big one.
Cooking, yeah.
I know who else.
I think for Team Liquid, it would probably be. I mean, the obvious answer is Miss Chim Chim. She's already a Team Liquid fan. She already has her like group that really hold on really like tightly to her. Her out of all the streamers that I've watched, her environment is like her chat is just so different than anybody else. It is like a very unique niche that I mean they can play towards, especially considering some of the stuff that Steve has said publicly. Like it kind of makes sense. Dignitas, I wouldn't curse anybody with that. So, DSG, I think they have disguised.
Yeah.
So there's that. What other team? Cloud9. I mean, it would have to be I Will Dominate, but like, if he's coaching,
Dom,
that might be difficult. Yeah, I think Dom
has
be
become the
obviously
C9 guy.
Yeah. FlyQuest. If you actually used LS the way you could, I would say sure, but I just don't feel like they're really utilizing him very much besides the patch notes.
No, you need somebody else alongside him at this point, which they have Basil, but I don't think Basil's like. I don't get the perception that she wants to.
I don't think she does. Yeah.
I don't know. Their YouTube content is just weird for me.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure it out and they just can't.
Ooh.
But I do think they're trying.
What?
Oh,
He
you're right.
retires? Yeah, that would be
right.
crazy.
100%. Yep. Whippo will make a killing if you can give him a proper setup and like allow him to be media. The other one that I would say for C9, in addition to Dom,
imagine Sven doing
Sven.
coaches. Yeah.
Yep, dude, Sven. Sven is a name that the second he wants to retire for C9, like here's my logic with you guys. I don't think you get rid of Sven, period, until he retires. I think you bite the bullet, no matter how bad it is, and you keep him until it's time for him to like call it quits, and then you let him be your content guy. And he will make you a ton of money, assuming that Riot doesn't steal him for the broadcast. But even if he does, it's still worth it to have him as a C9 player on the broadcast casting.
Yeah.
What other teams did we miss? I mean, 100 Thieves aren't going to be there, but just assuming 100 Thieves are there, I think Courage probably.
Courage is too busy. Can't. Too big.
Courage is too busy. And who would you do for 100 Thieves?
I have the confidence to say myself.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna cap. I don't think you'll find anybody better than me.
Not fun. Thieves, no. Definitely not.
You know,
Yeah, no, I agree.
whether that's ego or not, like I believe that to be confidence, not ego. But
it's probably a little bit of both, but I
absolutely.
think ego's necessary. Yeah. Honestly, for Shopify, like, I don't know. I really have no idea.
Which is crazy considering who you are in as well.
I mean, it should be like, I mean, maybe you could get one of the thing is like all the people that I can think of that have any attachment to Shopify would be way too busy.
Yeah.
Like any of the offline TV people, like they just have so much work cut out to them. And yes, they do come to watch our games because of Ludwig, and like they watch DSG games as well because of Skies, but like,
Should not be really funny content. Sorry to cut you correct. Have an owners though, where you have to have your owners co-stream your League of Legends game.
That would be fun. Horrific, but fun. Here's what I would do for Shopify. Ludwig knows the creator space better than anybody. Use Ludwig to scout your next creator. Bring them into Shopify. Make sure, like, for Ludwig, say, like, look, we need a guy that's passionate about League, that'd be willing to invest in the team and learn and like learn under your tutelage. Like, do Ludwig and this person co-streams until you can start building them up and go that route.
Yeah.
But I trust Ludwig's eye for talent more than I trust anybody in Shopify themselves. Shopify or Ludwig is more connected to creators than anybody else in the space.
I think for Shopify, we technically have Lena Lemon as a creator, and she does some things for Shopify every now and then. I don't know how busy she is, but I feel like she could bring, because she does like League and Valorant, right? So I think she could be really useful. But I don't know that we would utilize her. Like, she hasn't streamed in forever. Like, she still makes YouTube shorts and TikToks and stuff, but I don't remember the last time she streamed, to be honest.
I'd like an org to bring in Yamato.
Oh, Cutie! Oh my God, you're a genius, but she's probably too busy.
Cutie's way too busy.
There's
no way.
Like every weekend, yeah. I mean, she has like 5 podcasts and 6 businesses, and then like her channel, a little less busy than Lug, was very active. Yeah, she was active, but like, I don't know that she would be able to. I mean, if she could be like, hey, the next 2 years, I'm going to do this, and like get someone underneath me who can then do it, that would be crazy. Yamato, like, I don't know what connection Yamato has to, like, he doesn't have connection to any of our players. He doesn't have connection to any of our staff. He doesn't have connections to Brazil. So, like, it's kind of hard.
He has
you could also go
spirit.
the Brazilian talk. Like, you could.
He has.
You could bring in talkers.
Spirit.
Like, you could bring in a huge Brazilian co-streamer and just be like, hey, we're just gonna do like one Brazilian, one North American, and be like, hey, we're gonna do both. But yeah, I see what you're saying. He has the fighting spirit.
That's what we do in Valorant. We have a Brazilian co-streamer who's fucking bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's the way to go. I just hate signing content creators and have them do nothing for the org. Like, sorry to Lorlo, he does some stuff for Team Liquid, but like, is Midbee still part of Team Liquid? Who knows? Maybe he doesn't show it, right? Like, why is he being paid by the org if he's not doing anything for the org? It's just, it gives a bad name to these content creators. And then orgs are like, well, we tried with content creators and they did nothing useful for us. It's like, you didn't put anything in their contract. You didn't have them doing what Midas is doing. You didn't have them doing what Basil's doing. What do you expect?
Yeah. I don't know. Org management is an interesting one that they have to solve.
Anyways, we're closing in on 2 hours. Good luck against FlyQuest. Join the Discord. We have a Discord link in the description. That's where we pull a lot of the questions. Hit the subscribe button. And any shout-outs from you, Dave?
Honestly, I know we go back and forth, but shout out to the C9 fans for making this fun. Not the C9 fans that are bitter about shit. Y'all can go fuck yourselves. Everybody else, though, that, like Martin said at the beginning, kind of gives this like brotherly relationship to it. It's fun. You know, I banter a lot, but I respect the hell out of your guys' program. This might be the final run for 100 Thieves, but I can promise you this is not the final run of me endlessly shitting on you. That's still going to happen. Like, this goes well beyond. Even if I don't have a team next year, I will find ways to bait you and make you mad. Just letting you know preemptively. Like, just be wary. It's not going away. You might have gotten rid of the devil. The red and black is gone, but guess what? You're going to be seeing black and blue every time that the team that I cheer for cheers against you. So that's all. But other than that, shout out to the two of you first and foremost for this amazing channel, and you guys really like putting in the legwork to really up a few things in the space. Like the ticker, I will always appreciate. I've been wanting to do that for a bit, and you finally got my lazy ass to do it. Thank you. And shout out to every fan who's tagged me on social media over the last few weeks as 100 Thieves has made their run, who have been along for the journey. Look, I've been as frustrated as all you have with the last few months and how things have gone down. It feels good to have some light at the end of the tunnel. Like, even though like the end of the tunnel might be the end of the road as well, like going out like this feels so much better than what we thought we were going to go out with 4 weeks ago. And just if you're ever down or like a little bit sad, think back to where we were, and this will make you happy. You can't ask for much more.
Martin, you got any shoutouts?
Mine's a mixed tone because I've already like given David his flowers on like Twitter and stuff. So I'm gonna give my shout out to Loki because from the start of the season, before he was written off before he even played a game. Like the narratives that he was a shit mid laner in challenges, he isn't gonna perform, he isn't gonna deal with the pressure, and at the end he was our only big player. And of the 5 players on our team, he was one of 2 players that actually said, like, spoke to the fans after the series and said, "I am sorry." That is our rookie mid laner apologizing for our veteran, saying, "I'm sorry we shit the bed." So fair play to him, because not everyone else, like our coach, didn't say a fucking word. So, like, props to our young rookie who's gonna win Rookie of the Year. He's gonna come in, like, he's apologizing to the fans, and I respect that so much. Because it doesn't take less than 5 seconds to just put out a tweet saying thank you to everyone that supported you throughout this entire year. No matter how much you don't want to tweet, no matter how much like shit you're gonna get in your comments, you have to thank the fans that like were supported of you. And not everyone did that. So props to the people that did.
I will say, I was talking to, I guess this is my shout out. I did an interview with Anera right after the loss. So shout out to him for doing the interview. And he actually said, like, we could not ask anything more from our rookies, from our Koreans. Like, there's nothing more I could be like, oh, my Korea, the rookies didn't do this or didn't do that. They held their weight. So yeah, shout out to them. I will have a quick interview later tonight. I still actually have to work my day job. So I'm going to finish some stuff that I didn't finish over the week, and then I'll get that interview out. Vulcan also did an interview. It's not out yet, but it'll be out like Monday on Jay Silver's account. And like, he was sad, but like, shout out to him for also doing it. So I shout out to Cloud9 for actually doing those exit interviews. And then shout out to the Shopify community. Last year at this moment, we had like an opportunity to make it worlds between or playoffs between us and Cloud9, and like that was when I really felt like people were actually like on the Cloud9 on the Shopify hype train, that I felt like I made a difference. There were so many people tagging me and tweeting me to the point that on several podcasts they're like, why are people hyped about like Shopify? And then like when we try to dig in, it's all because of this like freaking Cloud Sitki who's just hyping them up for no reason. And this year I really felt it. This year felt, obviously we started winning and we brought in Ludwig, but this year was like way bigger, where there's so many people saying our team on Twitter, even here. Like, I just got random DMs of like, man, we got crushed. And I was like, last year you weren't saying we, you were saying y'all got crushed, and now you're saying we. So the fact that it's making a difference feels great. And yeah, so shout out to everybody who's like jumped aboard the Shopify train. And we're not done yet. After 100 Thieves beat Flacklist, we're going to knock them out.
I
Those are my
finally
thoughts.
experienced what you guys experienced because literally the second that we lost, the amount of Rip Bozo shit I was getting sent was unreal.
It's fun, ain't it?
Yeah,
Uh,
it does make you feel
Oh,
alive.
I gotta shout out Shopify too. Shit.
because we were easy. Is he gonna flame us one last time? One
Probably.
last time?
Am I good to shout him out?
Yep.
I gotta give Shopify a massive shout out because had it not been for you, I would not get to enjoy a second slice of this delicious homemade strawberry cheesecake that I said I would eat after every single 100 Thieves win. And for a bit there, it didn't look like I was going to have any all summer. But now, in the span of 48 hours, my fat ass gets to enjoy 2 slices of this and probably really need to go to the gym when it's all said and done.
Yeah, you better go for a run. I actually bought a cheesecake because I was like, oh, I'm gonna rub this in your face, and then we lost, and I'm like, well, I guess I have something to eat.
This is so
Yeah.
good, but it's so weird having it a second time in one day. I've never had it twice like this before. It feels like a lot. But I might have to have it again tomorrow.
I hope you have to get it. Man, I am just hoping for the rematch versus FlyQuest. Like, it'll be really cool to knock them out.
As a hater, as a new FlyQuest hater, I'm praying that they don't go worlds. So then they can go. So then they can go to Korean barbecue as well. We'll join them.
Oh, the memes will be beautiful. The memes
It will be so
beautiful.
good. What's great though? Who started off the year in Split 1 beating FlyQuest?
It was the Thieves.
Wouldn't it be great to end it that way as well?
It would. Oh, we're all cheering for y'all. I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm cheering for Heart of Thieves. God damn it. What have you done to me? Anyways,
cheering
that's
for
all
the
for our
League of
episode.
Legends silo.
I'm not going that
Yeah,
far,
that's true.
but it should be a banger.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Peace.